The idea of having a vehicle that can go anywhere and do anything has always been a dream for many. However, most vehicles like this seem to be more performance-based and statement pieces than anything else. Practicality seems to be far down the list. Throughout history, the 4x4 name has been dominated mostly by the Japanese and Americans. And if you think about it like I do, it's either the one that literally cannot be killed or the one that has little to no doors and is normally found in war movies. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that there hasn't been a bakkie that's burst onto the scene besides the usuals that's shaken up the market up until now. And that's where we have the Amarok. This is the VW Amarok. Introduced in 2010, it was built to take on the toughest existing and frankly legendary competitors, such as the Toyota Hilux, Ford Ranger, Nissan Navara and Isuzu D-Max. This is, however, a special edition version of the Amarok called the Canyon, one of the highest specs you can buy. So what do you get for your hard-earned 852,000 Rand? For starters, it's the color, because the Canyon is only available in this honey orange metallic. That paired with the matte black door handles and wheel arches completes the rugged look. You also get a black radiator grille, a matte black step-up rail to get inside the cabin. You also get 17-inch chrome-plated body color rims and some decals. The Canyon also comes with this tough-looking anti-roll bar, which does just like its name says. Should you ever get into a serious accident or a roll, what happens is the rear of the car is protected and is never crushed on impact. The sheer size of this car is already absolutely intimidating, and if you're wanting to know, this car is 5.2 meters long, 1.9 meters wide and 1.8 meters tall. And if you're worried about ground clearance, well, it's got plenty of that. It's 192 millimeters off the ground. Another difference is in suspension. While a normal Amarok has 3 leaf springs, the V6 has 5. This means that the car has stiffer suspension at the back, giving you less body roll and makes for a higher ride height when loaded. This being the V6 is the real reason you get this version, because it has one of the most powerful engines ever fitted to a double cab. While claimed consumption is 7.6 litres per 100 kilometers, we got anywhere from 9.6 to 10.8. Before I show you more of what the engine is like to drive on the road, it's time to show you a little bit more about the inside of the car, because that's where you're going to be spending most of your time. But I need to tell you about a party trick later on, and it's underneath the accelerator pedal, but more on that later. The interior is awesome because it's just like the inside of any modern VW Golf and Polo. The seats are comfortable, it has electric windows, a multi-function steering wheel, heated seats, climate control, and a reverse camera. The only letdown is the screen size and audio system. That could have been a little bit better, especially because this is such a big car. So what's the Amarok like to drive? Well, there are first a few things that I need to tell you about before you're ever considering getting a 4x4, like me, because I'm not used to having vehicles of this size. One of the things that you need to realize is that in a car like this, the ride is choppy. So it's not exactly the smoothest on tarmac, and that's because it's built for off-road and sandy roads. It's not meant for suburbia tracking like we're doing, but unfortunately, most of the people who buy this vehicle are going to be in the city. So if you're coming from a car and looking to get into a 4x4, you need to know that the ride isn't going to be as comfortable as you want it to be. It will get better if you load up the back bin and you fill it with people, but it's not going to be car-like smooth. With the Amarok V6 being the most powerful bakkie and 4x4 on the market, it has that party trick I was talking about earlier. Underneath your right foot is an overboost function, and if you hit it all the way to the floor, you get an untapped 180 kilowatts, which is enough to shove you back into your seat for a full 100 kilometers an hour in only 8 seconds. What I do like about this 4x4 sort of world that I've been placed in is that how spacious the car is. It's probably the widest and biggest car that I've ever been in. Your passengers are never gonna be complaining about this car is too cramped, because the back seats can fit 3 full-size adults, and you can have a full-size adult in the passenger seat. So space, absolutely fantastic, which means that if you do want to do long distance journeys, you can absolutely do it in this car. So my final thoughts on the Amarok V6. I think Bakkies for a long time have needed a strong power plant like this. Most of the ones on sale come with a very, very strong 2-litre turbo, and it's all been very, very good because they are phenomenally powered. But a V6 in something as capable as this just makes absolute sense, because you can go anywhere and do anything. This car is fitted with road tires, so it does make it a lot more easier to live with, so you're not getting terrible tire noise on the roads that we do have. But living with it, there are a few compromises that you have to deal with, like the fact that it is an enormous car. So parking in a traditional space, you're not really going to fit in a parking lot in a mall or in a complex wherever you live. So it is a very, very large vehicle, but it gives you a sense of confidence that I can always hear in the back of my mind if I'm driving and I feel like, okay, I'm not really feeling great about driving, or it's too busy and there's a lot of traffic. This car kind of gives me that, because I'm not worried about those sort of things. And I know it does sound a little bit vain or bad, but I feel like a bigger car does make you feel safer on the road. So if you are looking for a car that's going to give you safety and comfort, but also the ability to literally go anywhere that you like in South Africa, this is going to be the car. The 4x4 formula has been around for decades, and while many have done a stellar job at it, there's something assuring about the Germans taking on something like this. With their reputation for build, quality and durability, it's clearly evident in the Amarok that this is present. But by adding the V6, this becomes the cherry on top and deserving of the title best of the best.